Hello, I'm Alexthehunted, and today we are taking a look at the first of what was supposed to be the last ever Godzilla movie that was ever made. And this was the 9th movie in a soon-to-be 34 movie franchise, so that went well. Anyway, let's take a look at the kaiju version of the Avengers. This is Destroy All Monsters. So our movie begins in the future of 1999. Yeah, remember 1999? The United Nations had built a moon base and space travel was a daily occurrence. We also had these really cool looking shuttle rockets. I mean, what happened? We used to have such cool stuff. Also, these shuttles and space missions are ran by the UNSC, which means that Halo and Godzilla are in the same universe. It's canon! Oh, and get used to this rocket. I'm not lying when I say this rocket is in the movie more than Godzilla. This director must have been really proud of this prop. So after the opening credits, we head to Monster Island, where all the world's monsters live in peace. Funny how Godzilla fought and killed some of these monsters, but I guess having an ugly as sin kid softened them up. So how did monsters like Anguirus get on Monster Island after being killed in their last movies? So the island has a base inside so the humans can study the monsters and keep them on the island. How they got all these monsters on this island is never told, but they did transport the worst of the worst there. I still wake up screaming. But they also have Gorosaurus, which links this movie to King Kong Escapes, even though that was supposed to be in an entirely separate universe. Well, actually he's there because the monster they wanted to use, Baragon, well, his monster suit was pretty much beyond repair, and because it had been used in shows like Ultraman and had been remodeled to look like other monsters, well, the Varan suit was basically just destroyed, so all they could use for him was the flying prop. But those monsters actually only appear in this movie for about, 5 or 10 seconds? Anyway, we meet the main scientist group, and they're all wearing yellow jumpsuits. We also meet our main female lead, Choco Morabe. And it's her first day of the job, so you know everything's just gonna be okay. She gets a phone call from Tatsuo, the captain of the rocket ship, and he's calling from the moon. But here's one thing I don't get. If they are basically using Skype to call each other because they can see each other on a video screen, why do they need the telephone part? So her call is interrupted as everything goes crazy. Knockout gas starts flooding the base and Monster Island. Yes, open the door where the gas is coming from. That's a great idea. So everyone and all the monsters get knocked out and communication with the island is lost, causing the United Nations to gather to find out what's happening. However, before they can get a good look at the island, Rodan suddenly starts attacking Moscow. Then Gorosaurus starts attacking Paris. All around the world, monsters start attacking, and Godzilla goes to New York to show the 1998 Godzilla how it's done. We get a news report about the monsters' attacks.
Moscow by Rodan, Beiping by Mothra, and London by Manda. Paris by Baragon.
Well, it was going to be Baragon, but we sort of can't use that suit, so it's Gorosaurus instead. So the UN sent people from the moon base in their rocket to go underground Monster Island. In their rocket. Well, they're very lucky that Monster Island seems to have a Thunderbird-style rocket silo, but before that they run straight into a flying object in space, a UFO. And then we get a full minute and a half of the rocket landing. I'm getting a feeling the director really wanted to make a space movie first. So they have a look around Monster Island's base to find that everything is absolutely normal. They find Choco and the leader of the base operation, and they're all acting calm, saying everything's under control because they're controlling the monsters, as we see them blowing up a load of public transport. But you don't want to see monsters destroying stuff, you want to see people talking! Well, at least we do find out who's causing all of this as we meet aliens, the Keelak people, who live... Well, this movie kind of gives an odd explanation of where they actually live, but let's hear it.
There are many small planets moving between Mars and Jupiter. And this lady comes from one of them.
You mean the asteroid belt? None of them are planets. So the Keelak woman says that she wants to create a peaceful new world with the humans. Great way to start off that relationship by destroying a load of their cities and killing hundreds of thousands of their people. But hey, they just want to be our friends. The rocket team refuse and the knockout gas starts filling the room, and a gunfight erupts. However, the rocket team and the Monster Island operatives under the Kilax control are both wearing yellow suits, which is really confusing because you don't know who is shooting who and who are the bad guys and if one person getting shot is a good or bad thing. They capture the base's leader, but all the others escape as we cut to another place where the base's boss is being interrogated not by the police in a police station, no, but by the rocket captain and a scientist. Truly, these are the best people for the job. Also, this is where we get one of the biggest problems with, well, this version of the movie, and it's the English dub.
He won't answer any of our questions. Something's wrong with him. Dr. Otani, if you want to be saved, you have to answer our questions. Understand?
I think that he's faking. He's keeping quiet because he knows too much.
The dialogue is just a mess. The lines feel like they got mixed up. I know I've brought this up before, and some of you are just saying, well, why don't you just watch the movie without a dub in the Japanese version with subtitles? Well, one thing is my dyslexia really makes that difficult, and two, even the subtitles for this movie are just a mess. Anyway, he doesn't answer their questions, and as they go off for a cigarette, he goes for a walk. I get the feeling we should have tried to stop him. Oh well, smoking's more important, and good for you. So they go to get his body, however Kyoko and a group of men come in and hold them at gunpoint. But then the special police arrived. What kind of special? We don't know, but hey, they're here to save the day. As they take the body to be examined, they notice a scar behind his ear and cut something out of his neck. And when they send it to an expert to try and find out what it is, we get this bit of amazing dialogue.
It's hard to tell what it is. I can tell you right now that this is some sort of miniature transmitter.
Well, I guess it wasn't very hard to find out what it was. So they figure out all the humans and monsters from the island are being controlled by the Kilax in the same way. So now they have to search for all the transmitters around the world, and they find them all pretty quickly. I have to say the Kilax aren't very smart. Their first base has already been discovered and destroyed, and the way they control the monsters has already been discovered in less than 20 minutes. Hey, you know what I haven't seen in 20 minutes? Any goddamn kaiju! Yeah, in this movie called Destroy All Monsters, the total monsters being destroyed is currently 0. Anyway, they send out a worldwide communication for everyone to look out for the people that are under the control of the Kilax race. And the police are at train stations checking everyone to look for those special scars. So when the woman they are looking for shows up, they just let her go. I'm starting to understand why these people are called the Special Police. But it's okay because we finally get some monster action, and a load of it. Because monsters start attacking Tokyo in force. We get Rodan, Godzilla, Mothra, Manda. And you know, it's actually really fun. All the monsters get to have some fun and destroy stuff. It's pretty damn awesome. As we also get to see the monsters' different abilities for the most part. But then the military get everything ready to begin their attack.
Ready, fire.
Oh my god, stop! Stop! We're destroying more than the monsters are! Oh my god, stop! Aim your damn missiles! Stop! Hold your fire, dear god, stop!
6 hours later.
Oh god, we destroyed more than the monsters did! So all our heroes regroup and we find out while the attack was happening, the Kilax have moved base again and they have a new monster.
They've also got another monster. Baragon.
We won't show you Baragon, but trust us, he's there. And then Kyoko appears, wanting to speak to the people, especially
the newspaper people.
But not the fake newspaper people. So the Kilax offer the humans a choice. Continue the fight or live under the Kilax rule, and all the monsters will go back to Monster Island forever. However, Tetsuo offers another choice. He attacks Kyoko and painfully rips out her earrings. that were controlling her. And yeah, I know that's supposed to be fake blood, but the way those earrings were painfully pulled out of her makes me think that that's not all fake blood. So they launch an attack to find the Kilak's new base. However, Godzilla and Anguirus are there to stop them. And Godzilla tries to shoot down the rocket that's also there, but nothing can damage the amazing, awesome rocket that is the main star of this movie. Absolutely nothing can stop it. But the military open fire and miss again. Like, look how badly they missed. Godzilla is to the left and they shoot to the right. Anyway, Godzilla and Anguirus destroy all the tanks and the rocket makes a retreat. However, they find a UFO on its way to somewhere.
It's headed towards Fuji. This has something to do with those Kilaks.
No! What? That? No! As they try to follow it, Rodan chases them off. However, this accidentally reveals where the Kilak base would be, so the next day they go on foot to try and find it. Hey, isn't there something we're forgetting? Oh right, Godzilla's still here. Better start running! So Godzilla chases them away. But they do find a cave entrance that just so happens to lead to the Kilaks, who show off their base to the humans, trying to show that it is absolutely pointless to resist them because they will destroy them and all that good stuff. Even though they've had to move their base 3 times now, and the way that they've been controlling the monsters has been discovered, so, you know, you're not really as invincible as you think you are.
So now you're convinced that we're from outer space.
When was that ever in doubt? Anyway, back on Monster Island, the humans have rebuilt their base and plan to use the Kilak's technology against them, by trying to use the same control system to have the monsters work for the humans this time. As we return to everyone, and I mean everyone, wearing yellow jumpsuits. They find out the main source of the monster controlling signal is coming from the moon. So they send the awesome, amazing rocket that is awesome and amazing in everything, and its amazing and awesome crew to the moon to find the Kilak's base and destroy it. However, a UFO is on their tail when they reach the moon, and it does absolutely nothing, and they have no trouble landing in the Kilak's base. Huh. Well, the Kilaks do turn on flamethrowers and try to blow up the ship by turning up the heat so much that the rocket's fuel will explode. Really, for such an advanced technology, the Kilaks don't have laser weapons or something like that they can use to blow up the rocket? They just have to use flamethrowers? On the moon? That has no air? Well, the humans have laser weapons, which they use to break the Kilak's base's barrier and destroy most of the base. Which also reveals the Kilak's true form, which is metal worms.
They're from Kilak. Huh?
They find the main control unit and we get the most amazing and tense thing ever. Trying to cut off a bit of metal that's holding the control unit up. So the monsters are now under the humans' control and they get ready to make their all-out assault on the Kilak base. And the newspaper people and the military all gather to see the monsters arrive. And we see the first monster appear.
Ah, to the right. And down a little bit, just beyond those woods over there. Godzilla! No, it's not. The first is the son of Godzilla.
I guess Godzilla sent him out first to be the meat shield. So all the Earth's monsters appear. Godzilla, Mothra, Anguirus, Rodan, Gorosaurus, Manda, Kumonga, even Baragon and Varan, who will only be in the background and are not appearing in this movie. They play absolutely no part in the final battle. They are literally just a matte painting in the background. However, the Kilaks send out their final weapon, King Ghidorah. Wait, King Ghidorah? The space monster? That can survive in space? Why wasn't he guarding the moon base? There was no way the humans could get past him. Also, doesn't this seem incredibly unfair? I mean, yes, King Ghidorah is one of the most powerful monsters in the Godzilla universe, but he did lose to Rodan, Mothra and Godzilla. Now he's against 9 other monsters. I kind of wonder how that went down.
I have returned to destroy you this time, Godzilla. You do not stand a chance against me and your... Oh. This isn't gonna go well for me, is it?
So the final battle is underway, and this is by far and away the highlight of the movie. It's just classic. Every monster gets a moment to shine. And Ghidorah puts up a really good fight, blasting away Rodan and Mothra, knocking Godzilla and Gorosaurus away. This is also where we get the classic moment of Anguirus biting hold of Ghidorah's neck and Ghidorah just taking off into the sky, dropping Anguirus up from on high. This does also reveal the location of the Keloq's base. Also, Ghidorah tries to crush Anguirus by stepping on his spikes, which really... wouldn't that hurt Ghidorah more? It doesn't really matter, because after this, he gets hurt a lot more, because all the monsters just start to lay a beat down on Ghidorah. Gorosaurus kicks him to the ground, and Anguirus bites one of his necks to the point that it just absolutely kills it. Godzilla just stamps on one of his necks with his foot, causing Ghidorah to spit up blood. And guess who delivers the final blow? Yes, it's Manila. Manila kills King Ghidorah by choking the middle head with one of his fire rings. How humiliating is that? King Ghidorah, a planet-destroying demon dragon, one of the most powerful and feared creatures in the universe, is killed by Manila. So as all the monsters celebrate their victory, Rodan is attacked by a ball of fire that the Keloqs call a fire dragon. Again, why wasn't this thing defending the moon base? Or, you know, helping out the now dead King Ghidorah. Like I said, the Keloqs aren't very smart. Even as they gloat as the fire dragon destroys the Monster Island base again, destroying what's controlling the monsters, they just completely forgot about Godzilla and all the other monsters who, now that they are no longer under control, well, they know that their enemy is through instinct, so they're again just going to attack the Keloqs, and that's what Godzilla does by just kicking the base of the Keloqs, destroying it and killing all the Keloqs. However, that's not the climax. No, the monsters fighting shouldn't be the climax of the movie. The climax of the movie should go to the awesome and amazing star of this movie the whole time, the rocket. As that is what is sent to take out the fire dragon. No, it's not Godzilla or any other monster. No, it has to be the humans and their rocket. Like I said, the special effects teams must have been so proud of this effect because of how much screen time it gets. So much more screen time it gets than Godzilla. Anyway, the fire dragon is shot down, and it's revealed to just be a UFO that was on fire. And it is destroyed, wiping out the last of the Keloqs. And we end the movie with all the monsters back on Monster Island to live out their days in peace. All the monsters get a last scene to basically say goodbye, even ones that weren't even in this movie till now. And we end with Godzilla with his son. And that was Destroy All Monsters. And I think it's a bit overrated. Not saying it's bad, far from it, but this is considered one of the best Godzilla movies in the whole franchise, and I just don't agree. Yes, there is plenty of good stuff in it. All the monster scenes are pretty damn good, and there's plenty of them, and the plot is very interesting as well. This is the second time they've done the aliens come down and control all the monsters plot. But this one's much more interesting than the last time they did it. But this seems to have the same problem as the 2014 Godzilla, is that it focuses far too much on the humans, and they're just not interesting characters. None of them have any real arc or have much of a character for that matter. But When we do get the good stuff, which is the monster stuff, it's pretty damn good. The King Ghidorah fight, the final battle, that is one of the best fights in the whole franchise, and it's really just amazing. And all the special effects works is pretty damn good as well. But yes, they do focus far too much on this rocket, but why shouldn't they? I mean, it's a pretty good special effect prop. So I can understand why they wanted to show it off as much as they did, but they just did it for far too long. I would definitely recommend Godzilla fans watching this, but if this is one of your first Godzilla movies, I wouldn't recommend this as the first one you start with. And with that out of the way, let's head back to the wheel, and I've added some old movies that I reviewed years ago that I wanted to review again. So we've got Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, and Godzilla vs. Destroyer. They're going back on the wheel. But anyway, let's spin it again, and I will see you guys next time when I review... Pacific Rim! Oh yeah.